Today we will discuss high pressure boiler. Before seeing different types of high pressure boilers, first of all let us understand what is high pressure boiler. If the pressure is less than 20 bar, those boilers are called low pressure boiler. If the pressure is between 20 to 75 bar, those boilers are called medium pressure boilers. If the pressure it is more than 75 bar, those boilers are called high pressure boilers. Okay. Actually, high pressure boilers are water tube boilers because generally we find high pressure in the steam, not in the gas. So high pressure boilers are water tube boilers. If the pressure is more, as you can see in TS diagram, the average temperature in the boiler will increase so that the efficiency of the cycle will be increased. Here in this type of boiler, the circulation of water is inside the tubes, force circulation. There will be a pump. The pump will circulate the water inside the pump. And also here the advantage is it prevents scaling inside tubes because in water tube boiler, as we know that the water will flow inside the tubes. When it flow at high velocity, so there will be less chances of scaling. So that is the advantage of the forced circulation of water in the high pressure boilers. Here you can see the main types of high pressure boilers are Lamont boiler, Benson boiler, Loeffler boiler and Velax boiler. Let us see one by one. Now let us see the first type of high pressure boiler is Lamont boiler. It was invented by Lamont in 1925. The capacity of the boiler is 50 tons per hour, which means here the steam generation is 50 tons per hour. The pressure is 170 bar. It is very high. If you remember those boilers like Cochran boiler, Lancashire boiler and Cornish boiler, their pressure was below 20 bar. Here it is 170 bar, almost 10 times higher. The temperature in the flue gases, it is around 500 degrees centigrade. Now let us see the working principle of Lamont boiler. As you can see, this is the schematic diagram of Lamont boiler. Here there will be shell. So this is the shell. Here you can see inside the shell there will be grate. So this is the grate and shell. As we know that the function of the grate is where fuel will burn and it will release hot gases. Those hot gases will flow upward inside the shell. Okay. Now here as you can see there is a air preheater. This is the air preheater. Here there is a pump. It will pump the air into the air preheater. Since the air preheater is inside the shell, here hot gases will flow over the air preheater so that the temperature of the air will be increased. That high temperature water will enter into the grate, where this high temperature air will react with the fuel, then there will be a combustion, then it will release a hot gases. Here the use of air preheater is it will preheat the air, and moreover here there is a drum. This drum is partially filled with water and the remaining space there will be steam. Okay, this is the drum. Here there will be economizer. This is the economizer. Here also there will be a pump. Here they pump the feed water into the economizer. This economizer will connect it to the boiler. Okay. Here, since the economizer is inside the shell, here also the hot gases will flow over the economizer, and the water inside the tubes will be preheated. So that preheated water will enter into the boiler here. Okay. That water will send to the inside the shell. Here this is the radiant. Okay. Here there will be radiant heating. Here water will be partially converted into steam. Okay. That water again it will send to the tubes, water tubes. Here these are the water tubes. Okay. So here also these water tubes are inside the shell. So the hot gases will flow over the tubes. Because of heat transfer due to the temperature difference, the water will be converted into steam. Okay, that steam will enter into the drum here in this portion. Okay, so this is the working of the Lamont boiler. Suppose if we need a superheated steam, here what we do, again we collect the steam from the drum, that will send to the superheater. So this is the superheater. So when it passes through the superheater, since the superheater, this area is inside the shell, here also the hot gases will flow over the tubes. So the steam will be superheated and it will be collected here. So this is the working of the Lamont boiler. Okay, if you observe carefully here there are number of economizers. Those are integral part of the boiler. The economizers which are used are here air preheater, superheater and economizer. So all three are accessories of boilers. Those are integral part of the Lamont boiler. Now let us see the other type of high pressure boiler, that is Bunsen boiler. It was invented by Mark Bunsen in 1922. The capacity of the boiler, a steam generation, is 150 tons per hour, pressure 200 bar, temperature 650 degree centigrade. The temperature of the flue gases, it is 650 degree centigrade. Now let us see the working principle of Bunsen boiler. As you can see here, this is the schematic diagram of the Bunsen boiler. Here also there will be a shell which is vertical shell. Inside the shell it has a grate. So this is the grate, this one is the shell. At the gate fuel will burn and it will release the hot gases. Those gases will flow upward inside the shell due to the low density. Here also there will be air preheater at the top of the shell. This is the air preheater. Here the air will be pumped inside the air preheater. Since this air preheater is inside the shell, the hot gases will flow over the tubes, so that the temperature of the air will be increased. That air it will send to the grate. Here it will react with the fuel, then there will be combustion. After combustion there will be hot gases. Now here, like earlier boiler, here there is no drum outside. Here all operations done in a single tube. So this is the tube you can see here, through which all operations done inside the boiler. Okay, it is a single tube. The total setup is a single tube. Now let us see those operations in detail. Here there will be a pump. This pump will pump the feed water into the economizer. This is the economizer. So this is the economizer. Okay. So the function of the economizer is it will preheat the water, because the economizer is inside the shell. The hot gases will flow over the shell, over the tubes, so that the temperature of the water will be increased. That water it will be here you can see it will be sent to the radiant. Here there will be radiant heating. Here the water will be partially converted into steam. Okay. After passing through the radiant, it will send to the pipes. It has other pipes. Here you can see clearly these are the pipes. Again here also these pipes are inside the shell, so the hot gases flow over the tubes, so that here the water will be converted into steam. Okay. Now that steam will enter into the superheater. So this is the superheater. So this is the superheater. So the function of the superheater is it will superheat the steam, because the superheater is placed inside the shell. When hot gases flows over the tubes, it will exchange the heat. The steam will be superheated, that will be collected here. Okay. So this is the working of the Bunsen boiler. Again I am repeating, here there is no drum at all. Instead of drum, all operations are done in a single tube. Okay. Those operations are economizer, and water will be converted into steam, and also there will be superheater. Okay. All operations are taking place in a single tube. This is a single tube. Okay, that is the difference between earlier boiler and this boiler. The other important type of boiler is Loeffler boiler. Here you can see the schematic diagram of the Loeffler boiler. Here also there will be shell, as you can see in this figure. This is the shell. At the bottom of the shell there will be a grate. So this is the grate. At grate, fuel will burn and it will release flue gases and hot gases. So these gases are marked with red color, as you can see here in the shell. Those hot gases will flow upward inside the shell. Okay. Now let us see the working of the Loeffler boiler. Here at the top of the shell there is a feed pump through which the feed water will enter into the economizer. So this is the economizer. It will take the heat from the flue gases, and here the water will be preheated. So that hot water will enter into the evaporation drum. Here there is a new component which is evaporation drum. Inside the evaporation drum it will have a nozzles. Here you can see these are the nozzles. It will spray the water inside the drum, and also here from the right side, here you can see the superheated steam will enter into the drum. How superheated steam came this side I will explain little later. Now just understand that the concept. Here the superheated steam will enter into the drum and it will exchange the heat with the water. Then the water will be converted into the steam. That steam will enter into the again shell. Okay, here through the shell it will enter into the superheater. So this is the superheater. Again in the superheater it takes the heat from the flue gases. The steam will be converted into superheated steam. Okay, now after superheated, this point is important, listen carefully. After superheated, 2/3 of the steam will enter into the evaporation drum. Again I am repeating, after superheating in the superheater, the superheated steam, 2/3 of the steam will enter into the evaporation drum, and the remaining 1/3 of the steam will enter into the turbine. Here you can see there is a turbine. Okay, so when the superheated steam flows inside the evaporation drum, here the water inside the drum takes heat from the superheated steam and it will convert it into the steam. Okay, this is how the water will be converted into steam in the super evaporation drum. Now let us come into turbine. As we know that 1/3 of the steam is going into the turbine. Here inside the turbine the steam will expand and it will give some work from the turbine. Okay, again after expanding through the turbine, still it will have a energy. So again we will send that steam into the shell. Here you can see it again, it entered into the shell, so that again it will take heat from the flue gases. Again it will be converted into the steam. That steam will enter into the low pressure turbine. Okay, again after passing through the low pressure turbine, it will send to the processes. It may be for using heating the water, some other applications it will be used. Okay, this is how the Loeffler boiler is working. Okay, now coming to characteristics, let us see. The capacity of the steam generation is 100 tons per hour, pressure 140 bar, and the temperature of the flue gases. Here the temperature inside the shell, the flue gases temperature inside the shell is 500 degrees centigrade. It is very high temperature. That temperature we are using for economizer, superheater and air preheater. Generally This type of boiler used in marine applications. Okay, these are the characteristics of the low floor boiler. Advantage of low floor boiler. As we discussed in previous slide, in low floor boiler, here the water is not converting into steam inside the tube. Here there is a evaporation drum. In the evaporation drum, the water is converting into steam. But here the advantage is, in other boilers, what is happening in the other boilers? The water is flowing inside the tubes, okay, and the hot gases flows over the tubes. Then this water take heat from the flue gases and it will be converted into steam inside the tubes. Okay, here when hot gases flows over the tubes, these flue gases contains a carbon particles. Okay, those particles will stick on the surface of the tubes so that it will form a soot. Because of this sooting, it will reduce the heat transfer between the water and flue gases. Okay, that problem in case of low flow boiler is avoided because here we are using the evaporation drum. Here there is no tubes at all. Directly inside the drum, the water is converting into steam by exchanging the heat with the superheated steam. Okay, that's what we already discussed in the previous slide. The last type of high pressure boiler I would like to discuss is Velux boiler. Okay, here the capacity is 100 tons per hour steam generation. Efficiency, it is very low here, 55 to 60%. It is a fire tube boiler. It is not a water tube boiler. Here this type of boiler, it will have a gas turbine and compressor. So those things we will discuss in detail later. Now let us see the working of the Velux boiler, as you can see in this figure. So it is a schematic diagram of the Velux boiler. Here it will have a shell. As you can see here, this is the shell. Okay. At the top of the shell, there will be a fuel tank. This is the fuel tank. From the fuel tank, the fuel will enter into the shell, and from the right side, there will be a air supply at 3 bar. When air interacted with the fuel, there will be a combustion and it will release a hot gases. Since it is a fire tube boiler, inside the shell there will be fire tubes. So these hot gases will flow inside the tubes. Around the tubes there will be water. Now let us see how the water will enter inside the shell. As you can see here, there is a hot well. Through hot well, the water will enter into the economizer. Here water will be preheated, and that preheated water will enter into the steam separator. This is the steam separator which separates water and steam. This water will be pumped by using pump into the shell. Okay. This water will flow around the fire tubes and it takes heat from the fire tubes. It will be converted into the steam. Here you can see the steam will from the shell it will enter into the steam separator. Here at the top of the steam separator there will be steam, at the bottom there will be water. After converting into steam, again the steam will be collected from the steam separator, that will be again sent to the superheater. This is the superheater. Here again it takes heat from the flue gases. The steam will be converted into superheated steam. But here these flue gases, this red color showing flue gases, still it will have a more energy because it will have very high temperature. It will be around 600 degree centigrade temperature. So that energy still can be used, so that again those flue gases, it will be sent to the gas turbine. This is the gas turbine. This gas turbine, it will be coupled with the compressor. Okay. The function of the compressor is it will compress the air and it will increase the pressure of the air, so that after passing through the compressor, that compressed air, it will be sent to the shell. Here the pressure will be, it is around 3 bar. Then this compressed air reacted with the fuel, then there will be combustion. Since it has a high pressure air, after combustion the velocity of the flow gases will be a supersonic velocity. With very high velocity the flue gases will move inside the shell because of the high pressure. Again after passing through the compressor, the remaining flue gases, it will be sent to the economizer. Okay, so here in the economizer, the water, it takes heat from the flue gases. The water will be preheated. That water will be sent to the steam separator. Okay, and the remaining flue gases will send out through the chimney. This is the working of the Velux boiler. Okay.